Gavin Newsom had me drive 200 miles so he could tell me that he was giving a break, giving the gift of life to the guy that kidnapped, raped, and murdered my daughter.
My very first Comic-Con, some people didn't stand on my line because I was black. Some people told me like, oh, I didn't want to be on the line, oh, because you were mean to 11. Or even now, like some people don't follow me or don't support me because I'm black, you know?
Now as they're around, it doesn't matter what you call me. You can whistle. You can call me Hey You.
Hey peoples, welcome back to the shit show, which is what I call these videos because like it is like kind of a shit show with the things that I talk about. I feel like there's a lot of things that's like on my brain and on my noggin, bitch. They're like I need to like get off my chest today, and I want you guys to like, you know, pay attention and listen because like some of you out there are just so crazy and some of you are very unaware and some of you are very uneducated and some of you just need to shut the fuck up, to be honest. Except for me. But also I have some new things for Beauty Queen Thrifts. Look at this cute little, I just love shirts like this. Honestly, I wish this shirt was in my size. I would wear this. It's so cute. It's like a vintage Screen Star Best little kitty cat t-shirt that I thought was really, really cute. I also got this like vintage Marilyn Monroe like little picture that I found that was really, really cool. And like I feel like a lot of you guys love Marilyn Monroe, which is what we're going to talk about today, because like I'm in love with Marilyn Monroe. I don't know everything about Marilyn, but I love Marilyn, and I just think that she's like amazing. She's an icon, you know. Also, I have this Guess bag, which I think is really, really cute. It's like such a cute like little shoulder bag that I think that like someone will love. So this would be on my Beauty Queen site, so be sure to check it out on Etsy. And also I think it would be like kind of cute to like put this together with this. Like imagine both of these together. It's kind of a vibe, you know, with some blue jeans. I think that's kind of cute. I found this beautiful like, look at that, iridescent. I love iridescent things. Like I've always loved iridescent things. If iridescent was a color, I don't even know if it's a color or not, but like I really love things like this. It's really pretty. Like I feel like in real life it looks so much better too. Can you see it, bitch? It's so pretty. But this will also be on my site. And then I also have this beautiful gold bracelet, which I really, really like. I want to try to put like silver into my my shop soon, because I feel like a lot of you like silver, but like this is the gold bracelet. It actually fits me, which I was very surprised. See, I don't have it all the way on, but like such a pretty piece. I love it. It's solid as fuck. It's heavy. But yeah, if you're interested in any of that, be sure to check out Beauty Queen Thrifts. And also you'll get like a little box to like, you know, go and like for your jewelry pieces. I just put inside of there and ship it to you, bitch. So yeah, so be sure to check all that out and let's get started. All right, so I was so in shock this week when I was listening to the Spillover. This is like a podcast that is like, you know, ran by Alex Clark. She's like a conservative, and I really like her. Like, you know, sometimes I agree with her, sometimes I don't, about certain things. And like, you know, I think that she's great. I think she's like one of the best because she has her own podcast and like show where she like talks about pop culture, but like in a conservative way. And I think it's like such a good idea. And I just love I love Alex. And she's the best. But on this second podcast that she does with the Spillover, where she bring on people and they talk about their stories and talk about like different events or like different like, you know, anything, you know, any kind of stories, anything. This episode that I listened to was so sad. Like it was the most saddest episode I've ever listened to. Like, and I listened to a lot of her episodes. Honestly, I'm already like, I feel like I'm about to tear up already. I was so mortified listening to the Spillover talking about Klaas. It was a girl that was 12 years old, and she was kidnapped from her own home. And her father, Mark Klaas, was on the Spillover talking about it, and honestly, it makes me want to cry. It honestly makes me want to cry already because it was the most like saddest episode ever. Because I couldn't imagine as a father, a mother, like finding out that their fucking daughter was kidnapped out of the fucking home, even though the mother was home. I just couldn't imagine. But the story goes is like, she was at home. She was like, it was a sleepover with her and two of her other friends. The mother was there at the house, but she was asleep in the other room. And like, the girls, it was in their rooms, like, playing dress up, putting on makeup, like, things that like the girls in the 90s used to do. Like I don't think they had like iPhones. Like obviously they didn't have iPhones, but they was 12 years old, like, doing kid things like little girls do in their room. Supposedly when they was in there, playing dress up and doing things like that, this man, I'm not even gonna say his fucking name, because like, no, like, it's just, he doesn't deserve me to say his fucking name. He came into their home and he tied up the girls. The girls didn't realize that like it was like, being for real, because like they was like, the father said that they used to like, do like say jokes and stuff like that and do jokes and pranks on each other and stuff like that.
He said, if you make one noise, I'll slit your throats. Now, interestingly enough, Paulie's girlfriends fully believed that this was a practical joke.
But they didn't realize that it was serious. And he tied up the girls, the two of like Polly's friends, and he kidnapped Polly because the father, he told like Alex, like in the podcast, that like he was like a stalker, which is what they found out, because he used to sit like, in the park, drink a lot of beer, whatever like that, and Polly would like, pass that park every single day to go to her friend's house, and so he was watching her and he was stalking her. And he kidnapped her. The father, they would like, the parents were separate, they was divorced, so like, he was frantic. I would be frantic too if my fucking daughter was kidnapped. The kids got unloosened from like, the ties, told the mother was freaking out, told the father, they had the police, all this kind of stuff. It was a long story, a long thing. And like, what really killed me about this whole entire situation is when like, when Mark Klaas, he was talking about the kidnapper and stuff like that, and when they found out that she was raped, someone found like a used condom, her clothes, like with makeup on it and stuff like that. And I think that she was raped and like, sexual abuse, stuff like that. It's just, the whole entire thing really made me so sad. Like, I could not deal. What's crazy about this is like, when they got that guy and, they arrested him, the guy showed no remorse. The guy like literally says that he like jerks off to all his victims like in jail
For the rest of his life. He victimizes her every day. He said previously that he masturbates twice a day in prison thinking about victims of his old crimes.
Like Mark, he he advocates for like the death penalty. And I do too, bitch. Like, I honestly feel like if you do something wrong, if you do something wrong, such as like killing another person, or like intentionally killing people, whether with drugs, whether with like, whatever, the death penalty should be knocking on your fucking door, bitch. Especially if you had like, if it was premeditated and you was like stalking and trying to rape kids and stuff like that, like, it's just too fucking much. I do advocate for the death penalty. I really do. Now, I do understand, like, there are some people that are innocent out there and that, like, they shouldn't be in jail. And, like, they shouldn't go on death row for nonviolent offenses. I understand that. But there are certain people, certain individuals in this world that do deserve the death penalty. That's just how I feel. And like, that's what Mark Klaas was talking about in this podcast. And he really was like trying to advocate for that. But like, what's so sad is like they live in California, and like California is just like a shithole. And I think like he said back in 2019, Gavin Newsom, he's not for the death penalty because he feel like that like he doesn't want anyone dying on his like in his like in the rest of his terms of like being the governor of California and stuff like that. And Mark Klaas, he was trying so hard to get this man to be executed basically because of like the wrongdoing that he did. But like with the laws there, they are just so they slack on what they should be doing, which is putting people in jail instead of like letting people out on bail and stuff like that, and letting them roam the streets and like kill, steal, rape, whatever. And Gavin Newsom, he's not letting the death penalty run under his administration there in California. And like, it just made me really sad because the father, that's all he wants, because this guy, he's such a sick fuck that he has no remorse. Like, he literally like he said so many horrible things in the podcast, and it really just made me so sad. And like, I just wish that people, the reason why I'm bringing this story up is because like, this is how I feel. I just wish that everyone would stop like voting for that motherfucker. Like, stop voting for Gavin Newsom. Why the fuck are people still voting for Gavin Newsom? I don't even know why. Maybe because he give out handouts to people. I don't know. I don't live there. But when I was there, bitch, in California, it was not pretty. It was very disgusting. I was very like disappointed. I was very taken back because when I was there, I was like, wow, like this is a place where like I dreamed of going to, and why the fuck is these shadows coming out? I don't know. This is a place where like I really admired and really like had aspirations to live and like be at. But when I got there, seeing like the homeless people, seeing people scream, yell, like seeing some people like shit and pee and like all in the streets and stuff like that, and having tents and camp, I was like, I've never seen nothing like, well, I have seen a little bit of that like during the pandemic here in Kentucky. There was like a few like people that were camping out, like drugged out. Like we have some issues here too, but not to the extent that California does. I don't know if it's because it's a big fucking city and it's very expensive, and that like people just get tired and they just want to like fucking like just fuck it all. I don't know. If the governor of your state isn't doing anything to fucking help like the economy there to get better and to like help people that are actually in need, which y'all have programs there, but like no one's doing anything. Once you get all of once you end homelessness, bitch, there won't be any money going into their fucking pockets, bitch. That's why they're not doing shit there. So stupid. It takes me out that like he literally said like he's giving the gift of life to a fucking rapist that raped and killed Klaas. And he said it to the father's face. That's what the father said. He said that he traveled 200 miles to get to Gavin Newsom so he can tell him like, hey, like, bitch, like this man deserves to get executed, bitch. Like, he fucking raped and killed my fucking daughter. And Gavin Newsom, he was like, I don't want to execute him. And I can't, like, it honestly makes my head hurt just saying about this, because how can you give so much empathy for life all of a sudden, but you are literally the one who don't care when a woman abort their child at any fucking term? So like, how are you going to, what? I have a headache. Like, I just couldn't believe what I was listening to. And I just want to say, like, if this doesn't tell you that man is disgusting, and the fact that people say they want him to run for president, bitch, I would never vote for that motherfucker, especially at the rate that his state is going. Like, yeah, you may be the richest fucking state in the country, bitch, but where is that fucking money going to, bitch? Where? Where? Nowhere. So please, like, you can spare me all that bullshit because, like, I would never vote for that motherfucker if he ever became president. You got me fucked up. And you got Mark Klaas fucked up. And you got Polly Klaas fucked up because I just couldn't deal. I just want to try to go listen to that podcast and really take it in. And, like, if you live in the state of California, like, bitch, take heed. I'm not telling you who to vote for. You can vote for whoever the fuck you want to. Or don't vote at all. But, like, if this doesn't tell you anything, I don't know what to tell you. Also, I don't get why the light's going out, bitch. So, I'm sorry. It's just a sad thing. It's just a sad situation. Such a sad case. Like I feel so bad for him, and like he was turned up. So he was turned up in that podcast as well, and like I couldn't, like, it infuriated the fuck out of me, and it should infuriate everyone else that's listening to this fucking video right now, who doesn't know anything about that case. Like, you know, this can happen to anyone. This can happen to anyone at any time. So why wouldn't you want to advocate for that? Like, you know, why wouldn't you want to advocate to put some of these people that are on death row in the death penalty? Like, why wouldn't you? Like, there's a difference. Like, if, oh my God, I just can't. Okay, you guys, so I had to, like, move because, like, the lighting is shit on the couch. So I was like, let me just sit down here, and it looks so much better. Isn't it cute? Yeah, it's cute. But I have another thing I want to talk about because it was on my noggin. Someone sent me this, and they was talking about, like, Calab McLaughlin, saying that, like, he was facing racism during, like, the Stranger Things, like, situation. I was like, what? And what he said is, like, people didn't show up at his Comic-Con, like, line, or whatever, what do you call it? Like, you know how, like, celebrities, they have, like, little Comic-Con, like, little meet and greet, stuff like that. He says that the reason why no one didn't show up is because he's black. Here's the thing. Calab McLaughlin, let me tell you something, baby. Because instead of what your parents told you, which I know your parents told you that, like, the reason why no one likes you is simply because you're black, which is not true. It's because you're not the star. Like, you wasn't the star of the show. Like, we all know that Millie Bobby Brown was the star of the show. We all know that, like, Finn was the star of the show. They just was. And the fact that his parents sat there and told him that lie, that, like, the reason why no one doesn't like you as much as, like, the other characters in, like, you know, Stranger Things, is because you're black. I just feel like it's such, like, a held back. Like, they just hold him back. Why do you do that to him? Why can you tell him, like, you know what, baby? Like, yeah, you're not the, like, you know, the star of the show. So, you know, you're going to be the least favorite. Because, like, that's what most of us do. Like, we gravitate to the star of the show more than, like, the other co-stars, you know what I mean? The only people that we liked was, like, probably Sadie at times, and the main person was Millie Bobby Brown. It's because they acted so, like, exceptional. They were so beautifully, like, they was acting so beautifully that we loved them. Like, you know, they did moments in the show that was like, whoa, like, we loved them. And Calab, he really never, like, gave us those moments. And to be honest, like, Caleb, he was, like, one of the characters that was, like, annoying us as fuck. He was, like, not the most likable. Like, I remember in the show, he backstabbed his friends and hang with those other guys. We don't like that. As fans of the show, we did not like that. That's why we didn't fucking, like, fuck with you that much, you know? And it's really unfortunate that his parents told him that, hold him back, when they literally just could have told him, like, you know, you're not the star of the show. Whenever you get bigger, honey, and you have your own show and you be the star of the show, you'll see what happens. They will gravitate more to you. Just keep on doing the hard work that you're doing and keep on being you. Just be grateful for what you have. Like, you know, you were in such a, like, beautiful, well written out Netflix show that is so big that everyone loves. You should be grateful that you were even, you know, a part of that. I feel like that's what the parents should have said. But no, they just want to dumb him down and make him feel like he's oppressed and no one likes him, which is not the truth. He has a lot of followers. I follow him. I like him. Like, he's okay. Like, he wasn't, like, the star, you know what I mean? But he's a great actor. I really don't like that these young kids, like they're when they're like, why would you tell your child that? I feel like it's such a wrong thing to do. Instead, like, why couldn't you just encourage him, like, yeah, right now you're not like, the favorite of, like, Stranger Things, but when you get your own show and you become the star, you like the forefront of the show, you will become, the most favorite. I just don't get it. I just don't like that. I just wish that people can stop with the mental oppression bullshit, because it's really it's too much. When you perform the best, you will get the best reaction. That's just how it is. And a lot of people get mad at me for saying that, but it's like, it's the truth. There's a lot of people in shows that are like, given these roles, and like, they're given these roles for a reason, and sometimes they're not the most favorable like roles that we're going to gravitate to. And most of the time, most people, we just love the star of the show, which is like Millie Bobby Brown, just like Buffy the Vampire Slayer. Like, we love, like, the main girl who plays that. It's just, just like in Scooby-Doo, like, we love Scooby, but also we like Daphne. Like, it just, when you perform so good and they give you like a certain vibe, we're going to gravitate to that more as like audience. Like, I'm just this, and his feelings are very valid that, people weren't showing up to his Comic-Con line much as like everyone else. It is really unfortunate, but it just is what it is. I feel like he should just be happy that he got to be a part of that role. There was a time when like black people were not even on TV at all. So like, I feel like instead of discouraging that boy, how about you uplift him and be like, hey, you doing such a great job. Next time, and when you get a major role, they will like you. You know what I mean? Do y'all understand what I mean? Like, comment down below, like, if you understand what I mean. That, like, I'm not even trying to be like mad. Like, I felt like if I was in his situation, I would be pissed too. But it's like, damn, like, the real reality is, like, I'm not the star of the fucking show. It is what the fuck it is. I don't know if y'all watch the Blonde movie that was like portraying like Marilyn Monroe. Let me tell y'all something. I actually really liked the Blonde movie. I really do, because it was such a good fictional depiction of what of like the rumors that people were trying to make up, and like they put all of that in the movie. I had no issue with it. I really didn't. We all know that like Marilyn Monroe was sweet. Like, I don't personally, now if someone didn't know anything about Marilyn Monroe like me, and they saw this movie without doing any kind of research, they would probably believe every single thing that was in that movie. But me, I did my own like a little research on that. Like, as I was watching the movie, I was doing my research on everything. Like, is this true? Is this right? Is this wrong? Like, there was a lot of things that was fictional. There was a lot of things that weren't fictional. Based on a fictional book about Marilyn Monroe. How can you get mad about something that's intentionally supposed to be fictional? I don't get it. If something's intentionally supposed to be fictional, you're not supposed to fully believe it. There's some truth in everything, but you're not supposed to fully believe it. But to try to like boycott the movie and be like, oh, this is such a bad representation to Marilyn, it's like, duh, it's a fictional fucking movie. What are you gonna expect? Like, it wasn't supposed to be real. It's not who she truly is, There's some truth in that, but it wasn't truly true. Like, you really think that she was doing like 3 ways with Cass and that guy? Like, you really think that she was doing that? You really think that JFK literally sexually assaulted her? Like, well, to be honest, like, we don't know much about JFK. I don't know much about JFK. It wouldn't surprise me that president is that filthy, to be honest. There's a lot of things in that movie I was like, it doesn't surprise me. Like, if that was true, it wouldn't surprise me. But most of it was fictional. And I think that everyone is just so up on this little rest. It's like, Marilyn Monroe, she is an icon. She is someone we're going to talk about for the rest of our lives. Just because you don't like something that people are depicting on the damn TV about someone that you might like, or they say something that you might not like about, your fave, it's okay. Like, you don't have to watch. No one forced you to watch it. You watched it on your own goddamn self. That's on you. And, for people to try to boycott it, try to like say, oh my God, like, let her rest. It's like she is a star, she is a celebrity. People are going to talk about her regardless. It just is what it is. I like the movie. I think the main actress that was playing Marilyn did an excellent job. It was so great. Now, one thing I did not like, bitch, was that like they actually went to the place that Marilyn died and did that last scene there and acted. Okay, I understand that part where like how y'all felt about that. I think that's really weird. I didn't even know that like that's actually where they. I was like, oh my god, really? Like when I found out that, I was like, y'all doing too much. Like now it's getting ritualistic. Like it's too much. I get it. I get some of the outrage that y'all was feeling about the Blonde movie, but like that was just too much. Like y'all didn't know how to do that. Y'all could have just did something else. Anyways, I liked the movie. The movie was great, even though it's fictional. It makes me want to go like read the book. To be honest, that was based on that, based on all these like different events and stuff like that. But I think it was great. I wanted to say that, and I think I'm done for the day. I hope you guys love this video. I hope you have an amazing day wherever you're doing, and I love you all so much. Don't forget to be yourself, no one else. Don't forget to check out Beauty Queen Thrifts. Y'all already know I'm gonna promote my goddamn stuff to the end, till I fucking die, bitch. And yeah, I'm done. Bye, y'all.